Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name's Jonah. I know the screen's going to go black here in just a second. Just bear with me. This is an apology real quick just to some of the guys out there because one of my videos was a little bit too harsh and caused a little too many problems. But, okay. I'm sorry. We're back. And I've been away. Once again, I'm back now. So I got asked a question about what are the best off-road realistic vehicles in the game. That's a really hard question to answer because there's so many. But these are what I think are the best in terms of realistic quote-unquote scout vehicles. So we're starting with Bregels FJ40. He really doesn't have anything in there. It's just FJ40 in his name, but that was one of them. The next one here is Frog's. I think it's a Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Yeah, Jeep Wagoneer. So he got it out of Forza Motorsport 7. I like this mod a lot. It's his stock-ish version of it. So I like how he says that because it's a built trail vehicle, but it's not a built crawler. It kind of covers everything pretty well. The interior is very well done. Like he said, it got out of Forza Motorsport 7 with his little touches on it, so it looks good. It's probably running something along the lines of a 33, 34. I don't believe it's a 35. Steering components work. It's kind of a nice little mod. Next one here is by a guy named DanFT, a modder by the name of DanFT. It's a 2019 Dodge Ram Laramie. The reason I picked this one is it has independent front suspension. A little bit different than what we see normally when it comes to Mudrunner. Usually we see a lot of solid axles, but this one's independent front, solid axle rear. It's only on stock, like leveled height. It's tough to wheel. You'll see it up here in a bit. The next one here is also by DanFT. This is his Mercedes Benz. I think it's the GLS 63 AMG. I think this is one of the better overland vehicles out there in terms of, well, overlanding. It's got the full setup. It's IFS in the front. It's supposed to be a rear independent suspension, and he did his best that he could. You'll see the independent arms moving, but the axle, or the diff moves up and down. That's what I've been trying to say. Here's the first trail we went on. It absolutely, well, I don't know if it just lacks the grip. It definitely lacks the approach and departure angles, and it high centers all the damn time. But it couldn't make it. You'll see as it goes. For the most part, it just struggled the entire time. It definitely lacks grip. Nothing really to say on that. So as the way these videos are going to go, as these videos continue forward, for the most part, I'll just continue to shut up and let the video work its way out and let y'all kind of make y'all's own assumptions as to each vehicle. And you get to listen to the motor and the sound effects of the game and the little clicks from the keyboard. I like to use a controller, but the controller gets real finicky. So this is the 2019 Ram. It didn't make it at all. I don't know if the modder that created this just changed where like the edges of the actual body are, because sometimes it would act funky. It would high center, or it would hit the front end of the bumper before it actually made contact with the rock. The other thing is this truck is really heavy. I mean really heavy. And you'll see what I'm talking about. This map is said, it's Legends of Mike, is said to have nothing but hard packed dirt, no mud. And this truck digs and digs and digs into what appears to be mud all of a sudden. It's a really heavy truck, and it slides off rocks real easily. So I'm not sure what that's about, but it lacks power, and there it is. So it's high centered, but I checked. I think I pan around. It's really not. You can see underneath it. It should still be able to climb it. It's just acting as though it's high centered. So I don't know. I still like the mod a lot. It's got this whole bed cage on the back that looks really cool, but it definitely isn't meant for rock crawling, right? So this is a situation of choose the right vehicle for the trail. And I wanted to show off the capabilities of all these vehicles and then the differences between IFS and front a solid axle. So here's Frog's Jeep Wagoneer. This Jeep Wagoneer is awesome. It doesn't have too much grip, so it still puts up a little bit of a fight coming up some of these hills, some of these rocks. So that's what I like. I mean, that's why I say it's realistic. It puts up a little bit of a fight, a little bit of an argument, but for the most part, it does it without too much hassle. Now you'll see on this trail, I did mess up. I was too busy watching the vehicle and not watching where I was going, and I actually high centered, and while I was trying to recover, I ended up rolling it, so I just kind of took it out. But regardless, the Jeep Wagoneer, it's one of my favorite mods now, actually. It just looks so good. And that's different coming from Frog, because his mods are sometimes, I don't want to say more unrealistic, but they don't come across like this, and this one's awesome. So well done, Frog. I'm loving this mod. This is an old-timer FJ40. I say old-timer, it's just an FJ40. There wasn't any new-timer FJ40s. But that being said, what I love about this mod, it's got a real short wheelbase. I think it's heavy, or it's the right weight to ratio, power ratio, because it has trouble getting up these rocks too, but in a fun way. I mean, it's still got a short wheelbase, so you hardly ever see it high center. The mod itself looks great. I haven't seen Bregels come out with anything recently. I wish he would, because he does an excellent job on his mods. The drive shafts, front and rear, on this FJ40 rotate, which is awesome. Just the realism there is great. This one's a little lifted, so I'm not sure what the kits are on the FJ40, like what you would call them, like what the brands are. But this one's got a bit of a lift, so I would say this is equivalent to what you would see out on the trails, but it's not over the top like a crawler, right? So if you're looking for something more realistic to run around in and play in, this is definitely what I would go with. This one makes it all the way up to the very top of this trail, so I'll just, I guess, stop talking here and let you guys kind of get the rest of the video and just watch it wheel. Okay, so here I've got the Ram, that 2019 Ram Laramie again, and this trail, it actually makes it up. So this is a little different trail. So this is a very easy trail, something that if you're just looking for a trail to have fun on and ride on and not necessarily challenge yourself, or you're just looking for something to explore but you really like this mod, this is what I would recommend doing. It's hard enough of it's enough of a challenge to put the vehicle to test, because it is such a low, long, leveled out truck. It doesn't have a ton of wheels or a ton of wheel travel. It's IFS, so it behaves differently than the trucks with a solid front axle. And you'll see how it slides off. I know that happens on other vehicles. It's just it does it a lot easier on very small obstacles. So it makes me think that this truck is just super, super heavy. That being said, I do love this truck still. It's awesome. If you don't have it, I recommend it. His name is DanFT in the Steam Workshop. He does excellent mods. I think that he's Russian because he puts everything in Russian and then an English sub over, or an English translation. But his mods are awesome, and he's one of the only people that I've seen that do an independent front suspension and does it well. I think he did a Lexus as well a while back, and then he also did a Mercedes G-Class and the the Titan Warrior concept. So check him out. He's worth it. Right here, I got high centered again, so I just skipped through it. We got around it eventually. It just took some time. But yeah, like I said, I'll let you guys just watch the video and get your own determination on what you think of this truck. Alright guys, so this truck, or SUV, is that Mercedes GLS 63, I believe, AMG. Once again by DanFT. So this is that same trail, showing off that this truck doesn't have any, or this SUV has no problems. I'm loving this rack on top, and I like that it has like the branch deflectors off the front end. They don't really do too much in real life. We've tried to do it, and it's, you know, you're still going to get scratched. It for the most part is for keeping branches away from like the A pillars on your windshield, but I don't know. It looks good though, and I love the bumper. So this part is the part that the truck got high center on the Ram. It still high centers, but because it's got a shorter wheelbase and a little more travel, it seems to get through pretty easily. If you watch in the back, you'll watch that differential. It kind of bounces up and down, but he really tried hard to make it where it was independent rear suspension. So it looks like the rear is moving independently, but you can see the differential kind of moving around. But it still acts very well like an independent rear suspension. So it's one of the few mods that makes it, or in Mudrunner, that is very different from the rest. Right, for most part, everybody runs a solid rear axle, and for this guy to do the best he could to do a solid or an independent rear suspension is pretty awesome to see. I hope this guy keeps it up. I hope he keeps getting more and more hits on his Steam account, because he does things that you don't normally see, and it's really cool to watch. Anything else on this truck? Not really. It's a very well done mod. If you're looking for an overland truck, this is what I would use. It has fuel and repair. So the rack on top is fuel and repair, and then fuel is actually a bunch. I think it's like 6 55-gallon drums that you'd put in the trunk, I guess, full of fuel. The lights all work. When you turn them on at night, they're like like a really light LED bluish white color. Looks really good. All right, I'll shut up and let you guys finish what's left of this one. It's wheeling trip. So this is Frog's Jeep Wagoneer. Same trail as before, the other two trucks. It's gonna just get over everything like no problem, because this truck is well overbuilt for this trail, but it shows that it's just still a fun trail to go on, because there's different lines that you can choose, right? It's not like there's a solid, this is the line that you have to go on because this is the way the rocks are set up, right? So there's a different line you can choose, and it's fun to take different vehicles down different trails. Now, Frog says there's no mods or no add-ons for this one yet, but he's in the process of designing them and getting them out there. I can't wait to see what he gets done. I hope he does something like a rack. I know he's going to do some repair points and definitely some fuel stuff, but I'm looking forward to see what he does. One thing I do wish that this game would allow is like spin tires, where you could change out the tires and the wheels and go for bigger ones or smaller ones and all that, depending on what the modder has. I love that. Wish that Mudrunner would bring that back. But yeah, there's not much to say about this truck. I mean, it's powered well. It's got a lot of power, so when you're in automatic, it'll haul ass. But in low gear, it crawls pretty well. The suspension's pretty well tuned. It's a little bouncy sometimes, but it depends on what kind of terrain you're going over. For the most part, I kept this in low 2 and in low 3, and it obviously climbed up everything fairly well. Once again, Frog, this is hella good mod. I love the body on it. It looks really good. I know you got it from Forza Motorsport 7, but still, it just looks awesome. Yeah, I'll let you guys finish just watching. Alright, so this one is Bregels FJ40. It's another one just like Frog's Jeep Wagoneer. It's well overbuilt for this trail, but like I said before, it lets you kind of choose different lines. One of the reasons I think this is an excellent scout overland vehicle, or if you're going to do a little overland adventure, or just explore a map with your friends. Vehicles, because if you're into the realistic like gaming side of this game, this one's probably one of the best ones I've seen, with everything that moves on it and rotates. The drive shafts rotate. The suspension's modded pretty much and tuned pretty much to how it would be in real life. It's heavy. It's top heavy. When you get off camber, you feel like you're going to roll over and you want to take it slow. It's kind of a modeled vehicle that I think is one of the best ones out there. The other reason that I like it for a scout vehicle, it has a real short wheelbase and it's pretty high clearance, but it's not, like I said before, a crawler. So I'll let you guys watch it and tell me what you think. Alright guys, this is approaching the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know which truck was your favorite, or if there's more that I need to review and go over. I do things unorthodox because I do mods that are, yes, both old and new. But yeah, like always, subscribe. Let me know how I did. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the game. Thanks. Bye.